MSW.
What's up, Marvel Super Warriors? GH here, and welcome to the most awesome matchup between the Avengers Incredible Hulk and the Fantastic Four's The Thing. In this video, we're gonna compare both heroes, starting with their attack, defense, mobility, control, and tanking capability, to see whether who's the better tank between the Hulk and The Thing. And without further ado, here is Versus episode number 1. Let's do this! Let's start with attack. Looking at the stats that affect the overall DPS of the Hulk, it's focused on adding physical attack to get more out of his abilities. Some of it also deals damage based on the target's maximum HP, which is great for fighting heroes with high HP pool. And for the Thing, the stat that affects his overall DPS is focused on adding HP. And of course, attack to get more damage, which is awesome for a tank. The more bonus HP you have, the more benefits you get. But this is a comparison of attack between the two. And this is a close fight because there's hardly any difference. But I'm gonna give the Hulk here the edge because you're most likely gonna be inclined to put more physical attack on the Hulk, therefore getting more DPS. So we're gonna give 1 point on the Hulk. Okay, now for defense. And to determine who's better in terms of defense, I decided to look at both skills. Looking at the Hulk's skills, his passive helps him recover a bit of HP, which is decent for survivability, assuming you punch every time you use a skill. His first skill offers invincibility while active, which is good, and the second skill doesn't offer anything in terms of defense. But his final skill, on the other hand, gives him a buff that reduces damage by 15% for 6 seconds if he hits an enemy hero. Now for the Thing, his passive and first skill doesn't offer anything in terms of defense, but his second skill, on the other hand, can generate a shield every time you hit an enemy hero, and the shield is based off the amount of HP you put on him. So the more HP you have, the more shield you generate. Looking at both Hulk's and the Thing's abilities, I'm gonna give the Thing here 1 point for winning the defensive matchup, because that shield generating ability in the middle of a fight is a force to be reckoned with. Now for mobility, and again, to determine who's better in terms of mobility, we're gonna look at their abilities. Looking at the Hulk, his passive gives him a short boost in movement speed every time he uses any skill. In my opinion, it's almost nothing, but it's better than nothing. We're not done yet. The Hulk's final ability allows him to jump in a location, which is obviously a mobility skill. This is what you're gonna want if you're a tank, because this is a perfect skill to initiate and set up clashes. You get to target specific enemies more precisely. Now the Thing. His passive gives him the ability to jump a short distance every 10 seconds, which is mobility nonetheless. And his second skill, some might argue it doesn't qualify as a mobility skill, but in my opinion, the ability to move while attacking is as mobile as it can get. Now, the final skill gives the Thing the ability to charge in the location he wants, which is very similar to the Hulk. But the question stands, who has the better mobility? I'd be honest here, it's super close. They have a lot of similarities, but I'm giving the Thing here 1 point in the mobility clash because his second skill gives him the ability to attack while moving, which in turn gives him the capability to position himself better. And that's the purpose of mobility skills, to get yourself in a better position. Now for control. This is the hero's ability to affect an enemy hero's mobility. These are the slows, the stuns, the freeze, basically abilities that render enemy useless. And looking at the Hulk, all of his abilities can slow in one way or another and knock enemies up. But the most notable control ability he has is his first skill, which slams enemies 3 times, rendering them useless while it's active. This is one of the best control ability in the tank category. Now for the thing, like the Hulk, most of his abilities can slow in one way or another, but his most notable control ability is his final skill. When he charges in a location, all the enemies surrounding him get launched up for 1 second. His first ability can also be considered as a control ability, assuming you point it in the right direction. In this comparison, it's more of a preference, and for me, I'm gonna go with the Hulk, because I prefer the marksman, energy, or assassin to be useless for more than 1 second. So I'm gonna give 1 point here for the Hulk. And before we go to the last segment, which is the tanking capability, let's go look at the score first. In the attack, we gave Hulk 1 point. In the defense, we gave the Thing 1 point. In the mobility, we gave the Thing 1 point, which equals to 2 points overall. Then for control, we gave the Hulk 1 point, so you also got 2 points. So it's a tie. And one that's gonna determine who's better is the last segment. Who has the better tanking capability? And to determine who has the better tanking capability, we decided to look at their skills and builds. Now, the Hulk skills do not have anything to do with having a lot of HP, defense, or resist. And as a tank, that's what's most likely you're gonna do. Add more HP and defense. Could be physical or energy resist depending on your enemy. And having nothing to do with a lot of HP and defense or resist is bad for a tank. Because if you focus on HP and defense or resist on the Hulk, you will lose damage. And all good tank knows having damage while being able to tank is a must. Because you don't want to be the tank without any damage. And now for the Thing. His abilities require HP and a lot of it. And you know what? As a tank, you probably is making items that adds more bonus HP. Because obviously that can help you tank. And the more HP you have, the more shield your second skill generates. And that's what you need to tank. So in this tanking capability battle, I'm gonna give the Thing 1 point, which makes the winner of this battle the Thing. But of course, we gotta respect the opinion of others. So I put up a poll that asked players on Reddit who's the better tank. And here is the result. As I'm making the video, it's super close, and to be honest, both is super good. And of course, we're not done yet. I'm gonna put another poll link in the description and in the comments. Make your opinion be heard. You decide. And that's it, guys. That's episode 1 of our Versus series of Marvel Super War. And if you wanna see more, hit the thumbs up, share, and then subscribe to be part of the Gaming Hardcore family. And as always, this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.